What's going on, guys? Welcome to the video. Today I'm actually doing a little bit of work on the Evo. I have some last minute things I want to do before I put the car on the boat and get it shipped out of here, which is happening very soon. So today the plan is to install a test pipe. I'll show you guys that here in a second. I got that custom made, ordered, delivered from Yokohama, Japan, in the mainland near Tokyo. And I just want to do oil change and a few other things, get the car on a lift and prep it and pretty much get it ready for shipment. So stay tuned. All right, guys, we got the Evo on the lift. And this is actually my first time putting it on the lift here at Kadena, so I'm glad I got the chance to do it before the car shipped out. This is kind of like my go-to auto hobby shop here at Kadena for the past few years. This is where you guys see me work on the R33 GTR, the Evo 4, and now the Evo 3. So like I said, today's plan, I've got a test pipe we're going to be putting in, as well as an oil change. I don't know if you guys have seen the updates to the engine bay. I recently got a arc heat shield on here, and this one stud right here will not come off. Like, it's rounded, it is super rusted. I tried doing everything, tried putting vices on it, WD-40, the whole nine, heat cycling it. So I'm probably gonna have to take some more extreme measures, but I don't have a lot of time until the car gets shipped out, and I didn't want to really mess with it a whole lot. So I was able to get this bolt and this bolt back in, and I'm gonna leave it as is for now until it gets back to the States, and I'll take care of that. I was able to actually find an arc heat shield for the Evo 3, and a guy out in Malaysia actually hooked me up. I'll put his Instagram information down below. He gets a lot of unique, rare JDM parts. I'll show you guys another thing he sent me, and he got this and then hit me up directly and was like, hey, I got something you might be interested in. And you guys were constantly complaining about the heat shield on the 4G. So took the old rusted one off and got the ARC on here. So that's where we're at right now with this. Blow-off valve has been running phenomenally, sounds great. Really, really happy with the purchase on the TurboSmart Compact. And then I fixed the boost leak a few weeks ago, no issues since. The Apex intake's been sounding great. And actually, I was looking at the box for the intake the other day, and the instruction manual said 1995. So this intake was new old stock, and it was manufactured in 95. So the intake is just as old as the car. However, I got it brand new, so pretty excited about that. It's the old style Apexy. Pretty cool. Other than that, not a whole lot has been done to the car. I do have a few things that I am going to put in, or I do have a few things once I get back to the States I'm going to do to the car. I actually have some parts now that I haven't even put on the car. Over here. So over here is the test pipe. I had this custom made to order from a Japanese gentleman out of Yokohama, Japan. The turnaround time was incredible. I hit him up on Facebook, and price-wise, shipping, everything, it took maybe like a week. I got it for about 120 bucks. I know it's a little pricey for a test pipe. I remember when I had a GTR, you can get them 50, 60 bucks used, new, like 80, $100, but it's really hard to find parts for the Evo 3. So for any of you guys out there with the Evo 1, 2, or 3 and you're looking for a test pipe, hit me up. I can get you information on this. I don't know if he ships globally. It was domestic shipping. I'm sure he would, but obviously the shipping is going to cost a little bit more. Put the welding on it. Pretty impressed. It is 60 millimeter in diameter. However, my catback exhaust, I'll show you guys when we get underneath the car what I'm talking about, but where the exhaust connects to the actual catalytic converter right now, it's 60 millimeters, and then it goes to an expander, and then I'm pretty sure it's 80 all the way back. So it looks like a 3-inch exhaust from the back, but where it mates up here, it's only 60 millimeters. I was like, you know what, let's just leave it 60 millimeters. I believe my downpipe that I'm putting on is 60 millimeters as well. I heard the Evo 3s have some boost creep issues with high flow and exhaust if you don't get it tuned properly and all that good stuff. So I was like, I'll just keep it 60 millimeters. I'm pretty sure it's gonna sound great. So I'm really excited to get this on, and we'll see how it sounds after. I'm already getting a few pops and bangs with the catback. I'm hoping this will free it up a little bit more. We'll get some more noises out of that. It also did come with gaskets and all the necessary hardware. And then over here, a guy, Evo 321 Spares. He is like the MVP when it comes to these cars. He gets a lot of used parts, a lot of part out cars, Evo 3s, and sells and ships the parts worldwide. And then he also gets some new parts. This is actually a billet shifter bushing kit, so I've yet to put this on. If I get enough time today, I'm gonna put that on. And while I was doing that, I was gonna have to remove a lot of plastic trim. And I also have OEM triple gauge cluster for single DIN. This goes right underneath the radio. Same guy from Malaysia who got me the arc heat shield sourced this for me as well. So I'm real excited about getting this on. I've got some new vacuum lines here, so I just got to remove the trim, and I figured while I'm in there I might as well knock out both of these. And then for now, I'm not gonna really mess with the wiring. I don't have a whole lot of time. I'll deal with it when I get back to the States, but at least I can go ahead and route the plumbing for the vacuum line, and it is a mechanical boost gauge, so I don't need the backlight or anything right now. I just kind of want to see how much boost the car is actually putting down and see if there's any leaks or whatnot. So I want to get this in, get it plumbed up, get this, so that's a bonus feature. If not today, maybe another day this week. Main priority today, I want to get some fresh oil in the car before it gets shipped out. I did an oil change not that long ago, but I did order a Greddy magnetic drain plug. I wanted to get that in. New oil filter, and then I'll be throwing some Shell Rotella T4S 15W40. We'll get that in there, and that is pretty much it for today. I do have some of this for the catalytic converter bolts if they give me any trouble. I'll probably just spray this on ahead of time anyways, but I'm gonna go ahead and get the car. I'm letting the engine cool off. I'm gonna get it lifted up, and we'll get underneath, drain the oil, and then we'll start working on the catalytic converter. All right, so we got the oil pretty much drained out. I'm just gonna leave that as is. And then for the catalytic converter, there's a heat shield on here, and I went ahead and removed the 4 10mm bolts. And then for the fun part on old cars is always trying to get the old rusted out bolts off these things. So I already removed these two when I did the catback exhaust, so I know those are good, but I'm gonna spray these down because I've not touched these yet. So hopefully they don't give me any issues, and we'll pick back up once I get the catalytic converter off, and then we'll go ahead and try to mount up the new test pipe. The O2 sensor, however, I know it runs here through the cabin, so I'm gonna have to find this and unplug that, and I'll probably remove the grommet if I can't get this unscrewed. In the past, I think maybe on my GTR, I don't remember exactly what car, but these O2 sensors were dang near impossible to get off. So hopefully it doesn't give me any issues. This car has been pretty good to me so far. But underneath, for those that maybe didn't see the exhaust vid, not a whole lot of rust, just a little bit of surface rust here, but that can easily be touched up. The gas pan underneath has a little bit of surface rust. This is probably the most noticeable area right here. But like I said, when I get back to the States, probably the top of the to-do list, obviously the outside, the exterior I'm gonna get ceramic coated, and then I wanna get this touched up and then coated all underneath. And then we'll hit up the differential and the transfer case. I might even do the transmission fluid if I have time before I leave. So I'm looking over here, I'm used to the Evo 4 on it being this side. Yeah, so transmission fluid right here. I gotta run a Mitsubishi and get some Queen fluid, some diff fluid. That's definitely something I need to get before I leave, because I don't know how hard that stuff is to come by. I'm sure I could probably get it at Mitsubishi in America, but if I can get it here, I know they have it. All right, let's go ahead and get this catalytic converter off. So just to be on the safe side, I went ahead and soaked the bolts in the CRC freeze off. I'm gonna let that marinate for a little bit. The oil is pretty much done draining, so I'm gonna go ahead and throw the drain plug on there, and then I'll get the drip pan out the way, because you can see it's like right in my alley to get that bolt. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw this on real quick. Pretty straightforward. And for those that don't know, the magnetic drain bolt, that thing is good for a solid 15 wheel horsepower, guaranteed. And the Greddy oil filter, solid 20. Big gains, people, big gains. All right, really stoked. So these two here, literally no fuss whatsoever. I just hit it with the impact and they broke free. So I got these two pretty much off. I'm just holding them to keep the catalytic converter up right now. And then these two that I removed maybe a month or two back came off no problem as well. And then now to the O2 sensor, I'm gonna go ahead and break out everybody's favorite tool and see if I can get this thing off. And if not, then we're gonna have to work on getting the sensor out from this way, and then I'll just leave the sensor with the actual catalytic converter. Vice grips for the win, baby. Ever in doubt, just break out the vices. So I had to give it a little bit of muscle, but I was able to get it out. But look how fouled this thing looks. So now I'm just gonna have to route this up through the cabin, because the new test pipe does not have an O2 bung welded into it. And if I do get an exhaust light, I'm not too worried about it. I might actually just take out the gauge cluster and remove the little light, we'll see when we turn the car on if it triggers anything on the ECU. I'm sure it will, but who knows. All right guys, the stock cat is out. This thing's still a little toasty. Still looks like it's in really good condition. The honeycomb is pretty much in order. Let me grab a rag. So this thing is probably worth its weight in gold, I'm not gonna lie. I know they don't really make a lot of parts for this car anymore, and a catalytic converter, if I do ever decide to sell it, depending on the state and whatnot, if there's emission laws or if the laws change in Georgia where they require crazy emissions or anything like that, I'm gonna keep this, bag it up, keep it in good condition, and I can always just throw it on. But we are cleared hot right now to get the test pipe in. So hopefully, I know it was made to order. Hopefully we'll see if the sizing on it lines up. It should. Oh yeah, we can make that work. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the hardware and the new gaskets, and we'll go ahead and get this thing bolted up. Sorry guys, I'm filming like bits and pieces at a time. It's really hard to film and do things on the car with one hand. So once I get this mounted up, I'll show you guys how it looks. The test pipe is in, it's looking good. I got everything torqued down. So what I was talking about earlier, it's 60 millimeters from here. I don't know the exact conversion. I want to say it's like 2¼ inches, 2½ inches. But where you see it mates up. If I went 80 millimeters here, it goes back to 60 right here. So it would have been 60, 80, 60. Not too worried about it, so I was like, you know what, give me a 60. And then right here, as I was talking about on my catback, so it's 60, and then it expands right here. And then it's like a big, beefy 80 millimeters, or like, I don't know, almost 3 inches all the way back. So at least it's a little bit more free-flowing right now. I don't really expect a whole lot of horsepower or anything like that from this. Mainly, I was hoping to get maybe some more pops and bangs and maybe a little bit faster turbo spool. But I do have my downpipe and O2 housing at the house right now. I just really didn't want to mess with it because I would have to remove a whole lot of stuff, maybe even the radiator to get to the O2 housing. And the studs here are a lot more rusted. They see a lot more heat and water than everything underneath here. So I'm pretty sure these are going to be a pain in the butt. I went ahead and got the PIA oil filter on. So I'm going to lower the car. But before I lower the car, I'm going to spray everything down with some brake cleaner, wipe down some stuff, try to clean it up a little bit underneath, and then we'll lower the car and top it off with the oil, and then go ahead and do a little sound check. I know that's what everybody's waiting for. Anytime you do any kind of exhaust mod or intake mod, you got to do a sound check after. And here's a little warm engine idle for you guys. All right guys, that's gonna do it for today's video. Look who decided to show up. My buddy John, his R33 GTST behind me, looking good as always. And then we got that WRX GC8 inside, the red one that I talked about at the Cars and Coffee, possibly doing a feature on it. It is here, so hopefully we can get that feature pulled off in the near future. Hopefully you guys enjoyed just an Evo specific video. I know I've been promising Evo content and I haven't done a whole lot just dedicated to the Evo for you guys. I know I've been featuring the Evo here and there, but I'm trying to get more content out for you guys. So hopefully if you own an Evo 3 or you're looking to buy Evo 3, maybe this video will help you out in the future. Who knows? I know there's not a lot of these cars out there, but good news, I just got accepted to be a moderator for the Evo 123 Owners Club. It's a big Facebook page. It's pretty much the forum page for these cars, all Evo 1, 2, and 3. I'm actually one of 2 US moderators. So if you guys are watching this video and you have an Evo 3 and you're in the States or you're elsewhere in the world and you're not on that Facebook page, definitely go check it out. A lot of good information, a lot of OGs who've had these cars forever, know the ins and outs, a lot of useful information, really good community. I'm super glad to be a part of it, and now I'm a moderator, so if you're in the States, hit me up if you have any questions and whatnot, and if you send a request, I'll try to get you approved. A few questions you have to answer. But that's enough about that. I'll catch y'all in the next video. Later.